And I am here with Chef Phillip Foss of L Ideas, chef, proprietor, owner, creator, and now author of Life in L, your graphic novel that you wrote with your cousin Tim.
Sure.
You've worked in some of the finest restaurants in America, Le Cirque being the name that everyone would know.
Right.
And 5 years there, not like some people said, oh, well, I spent a summer or I staged or something. 5 years. But you also took this path where you basically just went into large amounts of food put out through big institutions like better hotels. What did that do for your soul? What did that teach you?
Right.
What equipment did that turn you on to? Where you're like, oh, you know what? It's a hell of a lot easier to make these delicate amuse-bouches when I have this massive mixer, or whatever that translation might be.
Well, I'll tell you, as far as a Vollrath product that really did help out in the beginning of opening up the Meaty Balls Mobile, were their big.
Can you say Meaty Balls Mobile?
The Meaty Balls Mobile was the name of the food truck. What we used was like these Swiss Army pans, they're like square. They come with a cover. They're very heavy duty, and we used to like smoke pork shoulders, and then we'd put them in these pans and we'd braise them overnight. And then the next day we would take the smoked pork shoulder out, and we would actually cook our meatballs in the broth. It was like this constant revolution of these Vollrath pans being in constant use, and the amount of production that they kind of constantly beat out. They fit perfectly on our two of them fit perfectly on our 6-burner stove.
So you're like the chef hack, but you had to have the right equipment. Otherwise you would have been done. L Ideas, you're under an L.
Right.
But there's so much more to it than that.
Well, yeah, the name itself is an acronym for Elevated Ideas in Dining. And it really, when I conceived it, before I even thought about what else it could be, I always felt like it was going to be this like kind of beacon for the community, for artists of all kinds to be able to showcase their stuff. And, even the way we developed at L as a restaurant, it's a very collaborative spirit. We don't have any walls in the restaurant, so guests are allowed to get up out of their chairs and come back to the kitchen, hang out with us. My chefs interact with them quite a bit, and they, as a result, because I saw that they've got this investment in it, I felt it would be a good place for them to show off their own skills. So chefs actually come up with their own dishes at the restaurant, and they tell the dining room about them. So they really get interaction, not just within developing their cuisine, but they learn how to interact with guests, which is something that so many chefs take for granted. So much about happiness, I think, is about your collaboration with others, whether it's relationships or, as a restaurateur, we collaborate with our guests to make an evening successful. But, people love the idea of connecting, and, through food and dining is, certainly the best way to do that. We get the ingredients to us, and there's, what's a story before those ingredients, where the farmers that it went to, the purveyors that it went to, and what happened to it before it got to us. And then we have this opportunity to turn it into something more, to elevate it, getting back to the elevating of it. For us now, we have to create a story behind it. And if we can create a linear path where we're connecting dots, by the time a person's eating it, they can taste the care that goes into it.
Yeah.
And I think that is the goal of the chef, is to just make those steps, full of care.